Hi everyone, Trevor here. Today I'm going to go through how to create a storage spaces 6-disk virtual disk with a 2-disk redundancy on server 2019. So our server 2019 physical system has been configured to use 4 of the disks on the built-on SATA controller, and we have the other 2 disks on a Silicon Image 3132 PCI Express 1 storage controller. And we're going to use the GUI to create our storage pool with those disks. So on the physical disks, we're going to select all, create a new storage pool. I'm going to call it data. So this is my lab 1 machine. So we have 2 on a RAID bus and the others are recognized as SATA. So after the storage pool is created, I'm going to go ahead through the GUI and create a virtual disk, or at least I'm going to try to. You'll see that we're going to end up with a error and it will prevent us from creating the virtual disk. I'm going to just call this data, and it's my virtual disk for my lab 1 machine. So they're all spinning disks, so we don't need to worry about tiering or anything. And the purposes for my setup, I want to set up a parity disk. Now it's recommending for 2 disk protection, you require at least 7 disks, but we're just going to go 6, so that should give us a single disk parity. So when I hit next here, I'm going to select the fixed provisioning type. Now I could go maximum size, but I'm going to specify a size of just 1,000 gigabytes. And we're going to hit create. So when I hit create, you can see that it errors out right away. It says that I don't have sufficient eligible resources for the creation of the specified virtual disk. And there are more details in the bottom there. So I still want to create a 2-disk redundant storage spaces virtual disk. So the only way I'm going to be able to do this is with PowerShell and use the command line to create the virtual disk that I want. So before I go ahead and do this in PowerShell, I'm just going to remove the storage pool, and we're just going to do the whole thing from the command line. So removing the storage pool could take a couple minutes while it goes through and resets all our disks and everything for us. So now with our storage pool gone, I'm going to select the primordial pool. You can see we have all 6 disks, and we can see that we have all 6 of them that are now able to pool. We have our list of our physical disks. We're going to create a variable called PD, and we're going to put these 6 physical disks into that variable. Now we're going to create a new storage pool using the variable that we assigned the physical disks to, using Windows Storage Subsystem, and it's going to be called data. The pool is going to be called data. So now I'm going to create a new virtual disk, and I'm going to make it 1,024 gigabytes. So with our disk being created, I'm going to go to the server manager, and I'm going to refresh it. And you can see now that we have our virtual disk data, and it is 1 terabyte in size. So with our virtual disk created, we need to initialize it. So we go to computer management, disk management, and we'll bring it online and initialize it. I'm going to initialize it for GPT, new simple volume, and make it drive D, and I'll make it ReFS. Just call it data. And now we have our data disk with a 2-disk parity.